Okay, so at this point we have reviewed the 4 types of sentences. You have learned the adjective and adverb jingle, so you know the questions to ask, and we are ready to begin the question-answer flow. We're going to start with 2 really basic concepts that you need to know, and then we're going to go into the worksheet that you were given in class. So the very beginning of the question-answer flow goes like this. Step number 1 is you're going to read the sentence out loud. This is going to get your mind kind of ready and engaged to start classifying each word in the sentence. And so an example of that would be, we would see this sentence here and we would just say out loud, snow fell. Quick and easy. Okay, that brings us to step number 2. Step number 2 is the subject question. We always ask the subject question first. No matter how many words are in front of the subject, you always ask the subject question first. And the subject question is who, if our subject happens to be a person, or what, if our subject happens to be anything other than a person. And so some examples would be, in sentence number 1, again, we would read the sentence out loud, girls danced, and we would ask the subject question, which in this sentence would be, who danced? And the answer, of course, would be girls. So we have just identified our subject in that sentence. Sentence number 2, snow fell, we would ask the subject question, what fell? And the answer to that question, of course, would be snow. And we identified the subject in that question as well. Okay, so you always ask the subject question first, no matter what. And then the verb question, you always ask second, no matter what. So you are not asking questions according to the word as they appear in the sentence. You're asking questions in this particular order. Subject question first, verb question second. And the verb question is always asked the exact same way every time. And so I have put that in quotation marks, if you will notice. And the verb question is always going to be, what is being said about? And then you fill in the blank with whatever you identified as your subject in the subject question. So again, let's take our examples. So sentence number 1, girls danced. We would have asked the question, who danced, and identified girls as our subject. And then our verb question would be, what is being said about girls? And the answer would be danced, and we would have identified our verb. In example number 2, snow fell, we would have asked the subject question, what fell? And we would have answered snow and identified our subject noun. And so our verb question would be, what is being said about snow? And the answer, of course, would be fell. And we would have identified our verb. And that is the basics that you need to know for the question-answer flow. And we are now ready to tackle some sentences on our own.